Welcome to the class, students. Today we'll be discussing about human reproduction. In that we'll discuss menstrual cycle, fertilization and implantation, pregnancy and embryonic development, parturition and lactation. Menstrual cycle. The reproductive cycle in the female primates, example monkey, apes and human being, is called menstrual cycle. The first menstruation begins at puberty and is called menarche. In human females, menstruation is repeated average interval of about 28 days, and the cycle events starting from one menstruation till the next one is called as menstrual cycle. One ovum is released during the middle of each menstrual cycle as shown in the figure. This period of release of ovum from the mature follicle is called as ovulation. The cycle starts with the menstrual phase, which lasts for up to 3 to 5 days. The menstrual flow results in the breakdown of the endometrial lining of the uterus and its blood vessels, which forms liquid that comes out through the vagina. Menstrual cycle occurs if the released ovum is not fertilized. Lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. However, it may be caused due to various causes like stress, poor health, etc. The menstrual phase is followed by the follicular phase or the proliferative phase. During this phase, the primary follicles get mature into Graafian follicle, and simultaneously the endometrium of uterus regenerates through proliferation. These changes in the ovary and the uterus are induced by changes in the level of pituitary and ovarian hormones. The secretion of gonadotropins, that is FSH and LH, increases gradually during the follicular phase and stimulates follicular development as well as secretion of estrogen by the growing follicles. Both LH and FSH attain a peak level in the middle of the cycle, that is the 14th day. Rapid secretion of LH leading to its maximum level during the mid-cycle, called as LH surge, induces the rupture of Graafian follicle and thereby the release of the ovum through a process which is called as ovulation. The ovulation is followed by the luteal phase, during which the remaining part of the Graafian follicle transforms into corpus luteum. The corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone, which is essential for maintenance of the endometrium. Such an endometrium is necessary for implantation of fertilized ovum and other events of pregnancy. During pregnancy, all events of menstrual cycles stop and there is no menstruation. In the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. This causes disintegration of the endometrium, leading to menstruation, marking a new cycle. In human beings, menstrual cycle ceases around the 50 years of age, and that is called as menopause. The hormones that are involved during menstruation are 4 major hormones that are to be kept in your mind. First is pituitary hormones. The two pituitary hormones that are very important in menstruation cycle are FSH and LH. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, LH, luteinizing hormone. These two hormones are stimulated by gonadotropin releasing hormone, which in turn is synthesized by anterior pituitary. The other two hormones are the ovarian hormones, that is progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone has a major role in implantation of zygote, implantation of egg. into the endometrium lining of the uterus. As we have studied stages of menstrual cycle, menstruation, it lasts for up to 3 to 5 days, results from the breakdown of the endometrial lining. Follicular phase, primary follicles mature into Graafian follicles. During this phase, secretion of LH and FSH highly increases, leading to LH surge and ovulation. Luteal phase, Graafical follicle is Graafian follicle transformed to corpus luteum. Large amount of progesterone is secreted, which is essential for maintenance of endometrium, which is very important for the implantation. Now we'll talk about fertilization and implantation. During copulation, semen is released by the penis into vagina. This process is called as insemination. The motile sperm swims rapidly, pass through the cervix, enter into the uterus, and finally reach the junction of isthmus and ampulla of the fallopian tube. The ovum released by the ovary is also transported to ampullary isthmic junction where fertilization takes place. Fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampullary isthmic junction. This is the reason why not all copulations lead to fertilization and pregnancy. Moreover, there are certain mechanisms that will stop the fusion of more than one sperm with the egg. This process is called as prevention of polyspermy. The fusion of sperm with the ovum is called fertilization. During fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum and induces changes in the membrane that block the entry of additional sperm. It makes the membrane of the ovum more positive, thereby blocking the entry of the another sperm. Thus, it ensures that only one sperm can fertilize an ovum. The secretion of the acrosome, that is, an proteolytic enzymes named as hyaluronidase and acrosine, help the sperm enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum through zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. This induces the completion of meiotic division of secondary oocyte. The second meiotic division is also unequal and result in formation of a second polar body and an haploid ovum. Soon these together fuse to form a diploid zygote. As we are aware that the chromosomal pattern in female is XX, whereas in case of male it is XY. Therefore, all the haploid gametes produced by the female have the sex chromosome X, whereas in the male gametes, the sex chromosome could be either X or Y. Hence, it can be said that 50% of the sperm carry the X chromosome while the other 50 carries the Y chromosome. So whether depending on the sperm carrying X or Y fertilize the ovum, the zygote carrying the XX would develop in a female girl child, whereas the XY would form a male. The mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the isthmus, to the oviduct, and this process is called cleavage and forms 2, 4, 8 and 16 daughter cell called blastomeres. 2, 4 and 16 cell, 8 and 16 cell called blastomeres. The embryo with 8 or 16 cell blastomere is called as morula. Embryo with 8 or 16 cell blastomere is called as morula. Morula continues to divide and transform into blastocyst as it moves further into the uterus. Blastocyst. The blastomeres in the blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer. This outer layer is called as trophoblast whereas the small mass of cell is called as inner cell mass. The inner cell mass is pluripotent in nature. What do you mean by pluripotent? Pluripotent means they are capable of differentiating into almost all types of cell. The trophoblast layer then gets attached to the endometrium and the inner cell mass get differentiated into embryo. After attachment, uterine cells divide rapidly and covers the blastocyst. As a result, the blastocysts become embedded in the endometrium of the uterus. This is called implantation and this leads to the pregnancy. Now we'll discuss about pregnancy and embryonic development. Just after the implantation, finger-like projection appears on the trophoblast, which are called as chorionic villi, which is surrounded by uterine tissue and maternal blood. The chorionic villi and uterine tissue become interdigitated with each other and jointly form a structural and a functional unit between developing embryo and maternal body called as placenta. The placenta facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the embryo and also removal of carbon dioxide and excretory material produced by the embryo. The placenta is connected to the embryo through an umbilical cord which helps in transport of substances to and fro of the embryo. Placenta also acts as endocrine tissue and produces various hormones. These hormones are HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, that is human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone. In the later phase of the pregnancy, a hormone called relaxin is also secreted by the ovary. It should be kept in mind that relaxin, HCG and HPL are only produced in women during pregnancy. In addition, during pregnancy, the levels of other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, lactin, thyroxine, etc. are increased several folds in the maternal blood. Increased production of these hormones is essential for supporting the fetal growth, their metabolic processes, and maintenance of pregnancy. Immediately after implantation, the inner cell mass gets differentiated into three layers, which are called as ectoderm, the outermost layer, endoderm, the innermost layer. A mesoderm develops between the ectoderm and the endoderm. These layers give rise to all the tissues or organs in the adult. Embryonic development. The human pregnancy lasts for up to 9 months. That is, the gestation period in human is up to 9 months. In human beings, after 1 month of pregnancy, the embryo's heart is formed. The first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening to the heart sound carefully through the stethoscope. By the end of the second month of pregnancy, limbs and digits start developing. End of the first trimester, most of the major organs are formed. For example, limbs, external genitalia, all are well developed. The first movement of the fetus and appearance of hair on the head are usually observed during the 5th month. By the end of the second trimester, the body is covered with hair, eyelids get separated, and eyelashes are also formed. By the end of the 9 months of pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed and is ready for delivery. Parturition and lactation. The average duration of human pregnancy is about 9 months, which is called as gestation period. Vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of the pregnancy causes the delivery of the fetus. This delivery of fetus, that is the childbirth, is called as parturition. Parturition is induced by a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. That means neural plus endocrine system together function in the delivery of baby. The signals for parturition originates from the fully developed fetus and placenta, which induce mild, smooth muscle contraction of the uterus called as fetal ejection reflex. This triggers the release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary, maternal posterior pituitary. Oxytocin acts on the uterine muscle and causes stronger uterine contraction, which in turn stimulates further secretion of oxytocin. This more and more secretion of oxytocin will result in stronger and stronger contraction, thereby leading to expulsion of baby out of the uterus through the birth canal. Lactation. The mammary glands of the female undergo differentiation during pregnancy and start producing milk towards the end of the pregnancy by a process called lactation. This helps the mother in feeding the newborn. The milk produced during the initial few days of lactation is called colostrum, which contains several antibodies absolutely necessary to develop resistance against various diseases for the newborn baby. Breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is recommended by doctors for bringing up a healthy baby. That's all about menstrual cycle, fertilization and implantation, embryonic development, pregnancy, parturition and lactation. Students, make sure that these topics are very important for your exam point of view, NEET point of view, as well as various other competitive exams that you will be giving in your future. So please learn this concept very clearly and be thorough with your concepts regarding these topics. Thank you very much to all of you. I hope this video will help you to clear your concept. Thank you.